We shut down an entire New Year's Eve party. Freshman year of college, everyone's home from school. There was a party going on at a girl from our high school's house. So me and my buddies, we weren't technically invited, but I think everyone knows how that goes. There's a group of 10 invited, then they invite all their friends, and next thing you know, there's like 40, 50 people that show up at this house party. Well, I had almost ruined a party my senior year of high school, like puking all over this kid's house. So I told my buddies I would be sober bro and drive us all over to this party the following New Year's. I'm on the way to pick up my buddy Jerry because we both lived kind of out of town. So I'm picking him up and we're driving his mom's minivan up to 7-5's house, and our whole crew of friends, like 6, 7 guys, is going over to this girl's house party. On the way up, Jerry says, "Hey, Griff, Louis T, and a couple other guys wanted me to pick up drinks. Will you stop at this liquor store? I'll grab them and we'll go over." So sure. So Jerry comes out with this huge handle of Svedka, and we're on our way over to 7-5's for this pregame. We get to 7-5's, and all these guys who who we thought were going to pay Jerry for his fifth that he bought, they decided not to pay him. So he's got this whole handle of alcohol, and he's pissed. What the fuck? No one's fucking paying me. Like, whatever. Sits down on the couch to watch a college football playoff game and just starts drinking this handle by himself. And everybody else was pretty drunk too. My buddy Matt and a couple of his friends were drinking like these White Russians, which is like, I think it's like vodka and milk. And Griff and Louis T, and I think it's 7-5 as well, were drinking Woodford Reserve, which is like a really nice Kentucky bourbon. So everybody's shit faced before we even leave for this party. But especially Jerry, who was mad about everybody not paying him. So he was like, fuck you guys, I'm going to get hammered tonight. So I thought we were taking the minivan. We end up taking my buddy Matt's car, pile in, like the 6, 7 guys that we have, and we cruise over. On the way over, Jerry is in the back just throwing punches, just punching, trying to punch Louis T in the head, just getting belligerent already. We're like, dude, how is this kid this drunk already? And I was, like I said, the sober monitor. So when we get to this girl's house, we all get out and we like grab Jerry, like, dude, you gotta calm down, dude. Like, you gotta calm down. Not knowing he was already in a blackout state. So he didn't remember anything from literally like 9 o'clock when he finished drinking that fifth at the pregame at 7-5's before we even go to this party. So again, we're not invited to this girl's house. So we are going in through the back basement door. Well, we get out and I'm like, I grab Jerry. I'm like, dude, you got to calm down, dude. Like, you're fucked up. And he's like, people owe me money. He was so dead set. And apparently, I still, to this day, I don't know the truth of this situation. Apparently, Griffins and a couple other guys were going to pay him to pick up drinks, but they told him they wanted red solo cups to play like Pong and stuff. They already had their alcohol, and he was just going to get the Svedka, which he thought he was getting for everybody, he only got for himself. So there was a miscommunication there, but that was what he was set on going into the night. We get out of the car, and those fuckers owe me money, Thomas. They didn't pay me. He's just can barely stand up, and he's fucked up. And mind you, on the way there, he's all belligerent, like cussing at us. He tried to punch Louis T like 3 times in the back of the head from the back seat. We had to like restrain him. He's just out of control. So we go into the party. I'm pretty focused on monitoring Jerry, but obviously, you get into the party. I started socializing with people from our high school, get distracted, and at one point, Jerry, and I had hid his Svedka bottle because I didn't want him drinking anymore. Well, he comes staggering over, and there was like a bar and a big, I think it was like a pool or a ping pong table, and then there was a living room area. So I'm sitting there talking to a friend, and he comes over, staggers over the couch, falls down, grabs his phone, and he's all paranoid looking at me. I'm like, what are you doing? He's like, people are out to get me, Thomas. I'm like, what are you talking about? And again, this is not knowing that he was in a total blackout state. Like, we all thought he was drunk, but we thought he was just being a dick because it's just kind of how he is sometimes. So we were like, gosh, he's being a real asshole tonight, not realizing how fucked up he is. And none of us really picked up on how drunk this kid was until he disappeared. We got distracted. I took his phone from him because I didn't want him like texting people when he was all belligerent. So I take his phone, put it in my pocket, and he staggered away. I thought he was staggering over to like Griffin 7-5, but after like 30 minutes pass, he's gone. And none of us can find Jerry. We're like, where the fuck is Jerry? So Griffin 7-5 come over, and I'm like, hey, like, have you seen him? Like, no, we haven't seen him. I kid you not Not like more than 5 minutes pass. We're in the basement, and it's like probably like 11:15. It's getting close to that time where the ball is gonna drop. And and all of a sudden, the mom of the girl whose house we're at, she comes down. Who's friends with who is here with 7'5", drunk, having the time of his life because he's a big social butterfly. He's like, "That's my best friend." And she's like, "He's passed out drunk in my side yard." Now, this is the part to this day I do not understand. I get that our friend was belligerent, and I get that you didn't want. Apparently, this girl's mom was pissed that like 50 people showed up. But like, what did you expect to happen? Like, you had like a high school reunion New Year's Eve party, whether you invited these people or not. Somebody did. That's why we're all here. This girl's mom, knowing that you have all these kids underage drinking in your house, decides to kick us out. The whole party gets shut down except for like the 10 immediate friends that this girl invited. So you have like, 30, 40 kids just getting kicked out of this New Year's party because our buddy was belligerent. She didn't want that going on at her house. So now you're going to send all these kids out who clearly probably don't have a driver, because some people like us, we always had a sober driver, but not everybody has that. So you're going to send these kids out on New Year's Eve, like probably the most dangerous night to drive, and they're going to go drive around, try to find another place to drink after already drinking. Like, no offense, lady, but like, I know we weren't invited, but we're here now. Like, what the fuck were you thinking? So she kicks all of us out. And that's when we realized how drunk Jerry was, because he had been detained by this mom who found him passed out in the yard. So we have to, like, me and Griff have him shoulder, like, a shoulder. He's got a hand on each of our shoulders, and we're walking him out. And there's, like, there's like a wave of, like, 20, 30 people just leaving this house. As we're leaving, these two kids from our high school who were, like, notorious for, like, being coked out and shit, they are all drugged out, and they're coming down. They're like, "What the fuck's going on? Why isn't the fucking party happening?" And one kid was like a very wealthy, very entitled type of kid who just, thought he was a shit. The other kid was a big, like 6'5" motherfucker, like pretty built kid. Didn't want to mess with these kids. And they were bad news, those type of kids. And no offense to them. I don't think they were bad people. They were just bad news in that type of setting. So as we come around the corner, they're confused because the party shut down. They got wind of the party just like everybody else, but they're showing up later. Like, the party's clearly shut down. Like, what the fuck's going on? I have one hand on beef. Griff's got another hand on beef. And we're literally dragging this kid up this hill into the driveway. So we get to the top of the driveway, and we're heading towards our car. And of course, the two most confrontational kids from our high school who are clearly coked out, who are all pissed. They're already pissed that the party got canceled. And they're like, "What the fuck is everybody doing?" Jerry's like, "Fuck off." He goes from like sloppy, can barely talk, like fucking stupid blacked out, to talking shit to these kids. So of course they follow us over to our car that we're leaving in. And me and Griff had told a bunch of kids inside, or like, we had asked 7'5", "Hey, is it cool if we just tell everyone to come to your house?" He's like, "Yeah, sure." So we have a pretty decent amount of people that are just going to come finish off the evening at 7'5". We get to our car. These kids are like, "Where are you going? Where are you going?" And we're trying to get Jerry in the back. We get Jerry into the back, and we're like, "Dude, Jerry, you gotta calm the fuck down. Like, you gotta calm down." Because he's still talking shit as we throw him in the back seat. And now he's yelling out the car at these kids that are following us. And they're like, "Oh, there's a party at 7'5's. We're coming there." And we're like, nah. So these kids are trying to get in the car, not only to confront Jerry, but to get 7'5's address. So we got 7'5, Jerry, and I want to say a couple other guys. And again, I'm stone cold sober. So at this point, I'm just trying to rally the troops, get everybody in the cars, so we can get the fuck out of here. And mind you, all my buddies are drunk. So at this point, it's me, Griff, and our buddy Matt in this random neighbor's front yard, getting guys in the car. These two guys are still in the car. So we finally like kind of push them out, like, "Dude, you guys need to get away from our car. We're trying to get out of here. You're not invited to 7'5's, like, no offense, but it's just like, it's close friends only type of thing." They get pissed, right? They get pissed that we're pushing them out of the car. And the big 6'5 kid shoves our buddy Matt. Griff had been pretty quiet the whole night. And Griff's a guy also, pretty jacked dude, wouldn't fuck with them if I didn't know him type of thing. He sees that happen. He sees the 6'5", pretty jacked kid shove Matt. And again, we had been pretty patient with these guys, like, "Please just leave us alone." And they were getting confrontational, yelling and shit, like getting pretty fucking aggressive. And rightfully so, because Jerry was talking shit to him. But Finally, Griff just like, boom, just one punch, boom, drills this 6'5" kid. He drops to the ground. His buddy doesn't even get a chance, turns around like, what? Boom, drills him. Both these kids, down on the ground. Griff's out here like One Punch Man. And like 2 punches, 2 kids down. And I'm like, holy shit. And Griff's like, yeah! He's screaming. I'm like, holy shit. So I'm like, get in the car, get in the car, get in the car. So I throw him in the car. And the reason I was in such a rush is because as soon as he drops these kids, the confrontation had been going on in this random dude's front yard. And he came out of his house right as Griff drops these 2 kids. So it's like, pow, pow. And this guy's like, hey, what's going on? And it's like, I'm calling the cops because he sees Griff just drop these 2 fucking kids. And then we jump in the car and I'm like, fuck. Whip us out of there. We take off around the cul-de-sac and we're out. So he drops these 2 kids. It's over. I'm like, oh my God. I'm in a panic. I'm like, whip us out. We take off down the road. And I mean, it was an ass beating. Like, I bet he broke these kids' noses on the first shot. Like, right to the dome, they were down. Right to the face. The most ironic thing about it is, as we're leaving, Griff's whole thing was like, I fucking didn't want them fucking with us. Like, don't fuck with my friends. That was what Griff was saying in his head, like, to us as we're leaving. Jerry, who started the whole fight, says, fuck you, Griff. Like, yells it from the backseat. And at that point, we're all like, Jerry, shut the fuck up. You have ruined all night. And again, nobody was really mad at him like that because, I mean, I had just done pretty much the same thing the New Year's Eve before. So it was all good from like a, friendship standpoint. It was just a crazy series of events that happened so quickly. We get back to 7-5s along with like 20 other people for the continuation of this New Year's Eve party. We're down in 7-5's basement. 7-5's parents did not want people there. And 7-5's house had a wraparound driveway in this hill. Well, it was raining that night, so it got real muddy in his yard, and people like just tracked mud all over the house. The basement floor was low-key ruined. I mean, it was bad. And you also have Jerry, who's still belligerently drunk. And remember, I told you that one kid is a pretty wealthy, entitled dude, called our buddy Matt because he thought Matt was the guy that punched him, not knowing it was Griff. So this whole situation goes down. 7-5's parents were at their own New Year's Eve party. They just get back after the ball drops to this crazy party going on at 7-5's. And the most iconic part of this thing, 7-5's dad walks downstairs, looks around at this crazy party, this mud has ruined his floor, and he's just like, and everyone goes silent when the parents came downstairs because we're like, oh, fuck, this is bad. And he's like, Happy New Year! Just rolled with it, like, fuck it. And he went upstairs. And it was almost a court case for Griff throwing those punches. It was a crazy series of events. After 7-5's parents go upstairs, we continue our New Year's Eve evening. Seems like it's going semi-smoothly. While we're partying, our buddy Matt gets a call from one of the kids that Griff punched because they thought Matt punched him. It was dark, and it happened in a flash, so they didn't really even know who hit him. They're trying to, like, tell Matt, my dad's going to sue you. Fuck you. Like, all this crazy shit. And he gets pissed. What the fuck? Fuck you. Because he's all drunk and shit. So Matt gets pissed at these kids. Griff doesn't really know what's going on. I guess, I don't remember if it was the kid's parents or the kid himself. Long story short, they somehow got a hold of my buddy's parents. So Griff and Matt's parents pull up to 7-5's house. Now everyone's like, what the fuck is going on? This is crazy. My mom shows up because she's getting calls from other parents. And I'm like, I'm totally sober. I just drove these guys. She's like, why don't we leave? This is a crazy situation going on. So I tell my buddies, like, good luck with everything. I hope everything works out. Happy New Year. And they're like, yeah, thanks for driving. And that was it. We all went home that night, except for Beef. Somehow Beef's parents did not get contacted, or they didn't really, catch the gravity of the situation. And the funny thing was, Matt's getting accused of shit. Griff punches 2 guys. This whole thing goes down because Jerry was blackout drunk. I mean, I'm not saying he was like the sole reason, but he was a pretty crucial player in the whole situation. So he's the only one that stays at 7-5's house that night. I called 7-5 the next day, like, hey man, like, do you need to come help clean anything up? Like, I know it's pretty bad. He's like, it's all good. Like, we can take care of it. I'm not allowed to have anybody over for a while, Just kind of like, like, fuck, man, that was kind of bad. And I'm like, yeah, that was a bad night. And he proceeds to tell me at one point Jerry had I thought he passed out drunk. And he was passed out like during after party at 7-5. So we all thought he was done for the night. Long story short, he ran outside in the middle of the night at one point, and they all, 7-5's whole family's looking for him. They could not find him. Like, they didn't know where he went. He was passed out in his mom's minivan that I drove over there, but left it there because I drove home with my mom. So he says, 7-5 says they find him, and as they're dragging him inside, he was like, "Help! These people are kidnapping me!" They drag him inside. The next day, Jerry remembers nothing from, like I said, from the football game at 9 o'clock on the whole night. I don't remember it. So he was so drunk at one point he was crying, hugging a tree, like in the yard because he felt bad for punching Louis T the whole night. And I only remember that because I couldn't find him when we got back from 7-5, so I like walked him inside. Anyway, we all went home that night except for Jerry. The next day, Jerry gets up, drives home. He couldn't find his wallet. When he passed out in the side yard of the original party at that girl's house, he dropped his wallet. So he had to drive back. He had to text the chick who none of us really knew that well. Maybe they did. I didn't. But he had to text the chick, go get his wallet, which they just left in the mailbox. So he had to go get that the next day and then start to piece his night together. So, you know, he had a worse night than us for sure. But that was the birth of the man that we know as Junk. The funny thing about that is I was nicknamed Tunk, Drunk Tom, after my horrible night senior year, New Year's Eve of high school. And freshman year of college was Jerry's night to go off and do something as, equally as dumb. So Tunk and Junk are our drunk nicknames now. That was the birth of Junk on New Year's Eve. And that was easily the funniest thing that I've ever experienced. And like many of these stories, I do not regret a minute of that entire thing. I mean, honestly, to this day, it might still be my favorite New Year's of all time, and I was totally sober for it. So, Jerry and the boys, thank you for that one. That was a memory I will never forget. New Year's Eve, man, enjoy them while they're there. And I would honestly say, from a New Year's Eve standpoint, I enjoyed going to house parties more than I enjoyed going out to the bars when I was of age. I mean, enjoy the house parties while they're there when you have the opportunity to go to them, because that's something that, like, I feel like the party house, especially in college, is such a villainized thing. But house parties are the best way to meet people and socialize in college because everybody's there. You get a couple drinks, you get comfortable enough to, if you're not a super social person, go reach out to people. Like, it is the most core staple part of socializing and meeting people in college, because everybody, you run into people on campus. It's a little uncomfortable to talk to them, but you're out in the party setting, especially at a party house like that where everybody's, kind of crammed in there. You got to talk to people. It's a great way to socialize. It's a shame that they're villainized for the fraternity stuff because half of party houses aren't even fraternities. And the whole thing about spiking drinks, if you go to a college campus, frankly, and you talk to most people, they know who's spiking who. I just can't tell you enough how great house parties are. So if you're in the college age and you're not 21 yet, or if you're just in college in general, go make the most of every house party. Go talk to people, branch out, get out of your comfort zone. That's the best thing about house parties. So yes, Junk. What a story. What a time. This might be the longest podcast I've ever done just because it was such a wild night. But that's it. Thank you all for tuning in. And we're just going to keep rolling. Talk to the time.
Taking shots by the lake till I can't even breathe no more. See no more. I was riding around town thinking to myself, is it gonna get easier? No more. What's it to me? What can I see? Taking shots by the lake till I can't even breathe no more. See no more.
Mic check. Mic check. Mic check. Oh my gosh. We're trying now, getting guys. We're in this random front yard. So we are out. I can't fucking stand this guy. My dad has to mow his lawn like 6 days a week. It's fucking ridiculous, honestly.